Hi, this is Aaron for BandLab, and in this video we're going to make a Dr. Dre style beat in BandLab's free online DAW. You can open this project yourself with the link in the video description, and if you find this guide useful, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to be the first to know when new videos drop. I start by setting the project's tempo to 94 BPM. I want to create the chords for the track first, so I add a virtual instrument track and select the strings harp instrument. I right-click on the track and select Create Region to make a MIDI clip. Then I set this to 2 bars in length using the handle at the bottom right-hand corner of the clip. I use the harp instrument to play an F minor chord with an extra note on the octave above the tonic. To get a natural strummed feel, I turn off the Snap to Grid button and move the notes slightly further to the right as they ascend. I turn the Snap to Grid button back on and duplicate the chord out on 8th notes. To duplicate notes, MIDI clips, or audio clips in BandLab, simply highlight them, hold Option on Mac or Alt on Windows, and drag them over. For the last 5 chords, I temporarily turn Snap to Grid off again and move the G sharp down to a G, which turns the chords into an inverted C sus4. I turn this track level down to -9 dB. Now that I've got the chords, I want to add a new beat, so I add a new instrument track and this time select Drums, Drum Kits, Compton Kit. I create a MIDI clip, set it to 1 bar in length, and start composing the beat with snares and rim shots on the 2nd and 4th beat. I then add kicks on the 1st and 3rd beat, and I put closed hats on 8th notes. I then set the view grid size to 30-second notes, then add another kick on the 3rd 30-second note of the 2nd beat. When I'm done, I return the view grid size to smart. The timing of this kick gives the beat some much-needed groove that contrasts the rigid harp plucks. I use the loop handle at the top right-hand corner of the clip to loop it for the length of the harp part. I want to add some additional drum elements, so I add a new instrument track and this time select Drums, Drum Pads, Boom Bap Classic. I add cymbals between the 1st and 2nd and 3rd and 4th beats, turning their velocity down to 81 to make them quieter. I also add claps on the 2nd and 4th beats, turning them down to 73. Next, it's time for a bass line. I create an instrument track and set it to basses, synth basses, sine bass instrument, and program a simple part that plays F, G sharp, D sharp, C. To make the bass line sound fuller, I'm going to layer it up with some other instruments. First, I create a strings cello section instrument and copy the MIDI over from the bass track. I transpose the notes in the clip up by selecting them all. You can do this with the keystrokes Command-A on Mac or Control-A on Windows. I then click the +12 button to transpose it up 12 semitones, also known as an octave. Next, I create a strings solo violin track and copy over the MIDI from the cello track. I transpose this new part up 2 octaves and duplicate the notes to create another layer an octave up. To balance the bass line and its layers, I set the bass to -1.5 dB, the cello to -6 dB, and the violin to -12.5 dB. For the final element, I create an instrument track and set it to keyboards, synth leads, ambient lead. I copy out the existing parts MIDI clips to create a 4-bar section. Then I compose a simple melody that flips between an F and a D sharp, and a D sharp and C. At the end of the 4-bar section, it ascends from 1 octave down back up to the tonic. This track is a little quiet, so I open up the effects panel and add a Dynamics BL1176 effect. This boosts the track's volume level. To balance the track, I turn its volume down to negative 1.5 dB. The arrangement begins with just the bass and string sounds. Before the beat kicks in on bar 5, it plays with the open hat between beats 3 and 4 to introduce the beat more smoothly. The lead comes in on bar 13, and the second time around it's truncated so the ascension to the tonic doesn't play again. After that, the arrangement repeats from bar 5. On bar 37, the beat drops out and we have a bass and strings outro. Remember, you can fork this project and make your own version of it using the link in the video description. Have fun!